Hey everybody, I wanted to do a quick CMA of how I do a quick video on how I do a quick and easy CMA. This is not an in-depth CMA, but this is to give you a ballpark feeling on what the going rate is for a house in a particular area. So we're going to be doing it on RMLS, but we're going to use my house, and my house has never been listed on the RMLS. If the house has previously been listed, that's a good thing to use, but I know that mine has not. So we're going to plug it into the GIS. You'll see why in a minute. Because the best way to use the CMA feature is with the auto populate. So I'm going to get the tax ID number for my house. And I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go to MLS. Toolkit, CMA profiles. Add a new profile. And this is going to be O'Brien. That file name is only for you. You can use your client. You can use the address. You can put the date, whatever you want. Profile name, I'm not creating contacts. I'm going to go save and next. And I'm going to enter the subject property. This is where I'm saying that the auto-populate is the best way to get the best data. Auto-populate the address. If I had the MLS number, I would put it here, and that would get me my best data. I don't have that, so I'm going to put in my tax ID number that I copied. I'm going to paste it. And that's Clark County, load. Tax ID not found. I'm going to try again. It's still there. And sometimes the numbers are short and you need to add a 0. Sometimes you need to add 2 zeros. So I'm just adding a 0 in front. I'm going to load again, and it found my house. To do the radius search, which is how I search, I'm going to click here to adjust map. You can't do the radius search without a map. There's my map. That's where my house is located. All good, save. Not interested in the features because I'm doing a quickie here. There's a quick CMA. So I'm just going to go to the comps. I'm going to add comps. I'm going to radius search my house. And I'm going to do a quarter mile. And I want the active, pending, and sold. So I've got those checked. I want my solds to go back about 4 months. If anything auto-populated here for bedrooms, acres, or bathrooms, you would want to delete it because I don't want only the houses with the exact same bed and bath. Because again, I want an overview. And from a previous search, I had been searching for houses over 2,000 square feet. So I'm going to delete that. So I want all these parameters to be empty. I'm doing a quarter mile search for the last 4 months, and I'm going to count. And I got 5. I think I want a few more than 5. So I'm going to bump it out to half a mile and count. And I got 21. So I'm going to start with the 21, and I'm going to narrow them down from there by age. My house was built in 1964, and there is some newer construction probably within that half mile. So I'm going to get rid of that. By narrowing those 21 down by age, I want houses that were built, I'll take as old as they can be, but not newer than 19, let's say 75. So now using that parameter, I'm going to count again. And that gives me 10. So I'm going to look at those 10 by clicking search. So there are 2 actively for sale, 3 pending, and 5 sold. For purposes of a quick CMA, we're only interested in the sold. So what I'm going to do is get a look at all of those sold for my own purposes, not so much for the CMA. I want to look at them before I narrow them down. So I'm going to select all the sold. And I'm going to pull the report. I like agent abbreviated. You could go agent full. Okay, and just in a quick review, knowing what my house looks like and the age range, I'm going to say 1972, that's a decent comp. I'm going to keep it. It's going to stay checked. This is 1956. That's a good comp. I'm going to keep that box checked. This one is 1967. That's a good comp. I'm going to keep that box checked. Oh, now this one was 1965. Oh, that is beautiful. That one is close by. It's definitely in a higher league than mine, but I'm going to keep it because size-wise and age-wise and location-wise, it's still a good comp. And then this one, 1953, I'm in love with this house. It's only about 2 blocks away from me. And I'm gonna eliminate that one because it's not a good comp to my house. Because it's on 2 acres, everything else is just on a regular neighborhood lot. And because it's 5,600 square feet, which is double the size of my house, I'm gonna uncheck that box and not include that one. And I'm going to go back up and I'm going to add to CMA those that are checked. So I'm adding these 4 to my CMA. Next. 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 I'm not going to do adjustments because this is a quickie. I'm going to go straight to recommended price. So the average price per square foot is $280. Go back to the GIS for my house. This has my house. If you click on building, it's got my house at 1,856 square feet. Now I can tell you that we did an addition to our house. And so it's not 1,856 square feet of living space. It is 2,480 square feet of living space. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to enter my total square footage as 2,480. And I'm going to just say at the average price of $280 per square foot. That would mean my value for the house I'm comping out based on the average price per square foot would be $694,400. What I like to do here for purposes of a quick CMA, if you haven't been to the client's house, you don't know if they're average, they're above average, or they're below average. You don't know, you haven't been there yet. So I'm going to take that average and I'm going to say, let's make that the high end. And let's assume that they might not be up to average. So we'll say on the low end, 250, okay? I'm gonna refresh graph again. That gives me a range of 620 to 694. Okay, now one of those houses in the comps, this is where it's just something that you're gonna have to get a feel for. One of these houses, this one, is listed as is and needs work. And one of them, this one, is fully redone and got very top dollar because it's magnificent. So we could either go in and play with the comps on those, like do we want to devalue? We're devaluing the average by including an as is, but we're also increasing the average by including a full remodel. So to me, those cancel each other out because we've got both ends of the spectrum. If this house was not as is, if it was like these 3 houses were in great condition and those are their prices, and then this one was like new and was $300,000 more, I might eliminate that one from my average. But for these purposes, since we've got an as is and a full remodel, I'm going to leave them both in. So we're at recommended price. I just created this range of minimum to maximum, and I'm going to go to report. I am going to get rid of the cover page. I'm going to get rid of the table of contents. I'm only going to use the comps, the map, and the summary, and pricing your home. I'm getting rid of the rest. So I've got 4 things that I'm going to create a report with, and I'm going to generate reports. And now what I have are the comps to look at with them, a map to show where they are in relation to the subject property, a breakdown of what those houses sold for, how old they are, and what their square footage and bed and baths are. And then that range that I just predicted. I did not give a price, but I did a range with a minimum and a maximum. And we've got a little graph here showing where that range falls on this. The dark bar is things that were the list price. The dotty bar is the average sold price. They're almost equal. They sold tiny bit higher than list price. And my range there that I'm giving to price this home is perfect. It is falling right in line. So that's it. That's what I would take to a listing appointment as a quick CMA, create a PDF of it that you can email to them or print it out and take it. And that's it. I don't know why it included a blank page in the front, so I wouldn't print that if I was printing. Did it include any others? No. So I would be rolling in there with a 4-page document. That's it. That's how I do my quick CMA. Hope it was helpful.